is it so dark? It's so dark. Why is it so dark? Let me see if I can make it lighter. Hold on. Maybe I turn this off. I think that's better. Ow. My shoulder. Ow. Oof. Oh. Ow. Damn it. Oh, I hate my shoulder. Okay. I'm in top chat. Hold on. Live chat. There we go. Shall we do a goal, you guys? Should we do a goal? Pick goal. How about let's do... Okay, got it. Oops. Okay. Hello. Ow. I've just put up a goal for us for this stream. If you would like to help me achieve our goal, that would be wonderful. Let's see. Where are we? Hello. I can't see. Are you guys chatting? I cannot see who's in here. Oh. Hello. I worked yesterday. You know what I did? I painted handicap parking spots. It was kind of fun, actually. We have to finish it, but let me see if I can show you guys. See, this is what I was doing yesterday. Painting handicap spots. And bumpers, yes, that's what I was doing. And going around the buildings and trying to get people to clean up their disgusting messes. And knocking down cobwebs and spider webs and big old spiders and all that stuff. So, hi, Robert. That's what I was doing on Saturday, working like a dog. So that was a fun time. I just worked from like 10:37 to 3:16. That's the time I worked. And because we have our big wigs coming on Tuesday. So they want to see that I've gotten accomplished what they set out for me to accomplish the last time they were in town, which was getting the roof and the gutters clean, getting everyone to get their shit off of their porches and back decks, and just getting the parking striping done, which I did have a company come out to do that, and they did an absolutely shitty job. So we're having to redo it. Getting the weeding done, the yard work. It's a pretty big piece of property. So I'm looking for my birth certificate before I came live because I have to get my passport. I want a passport. I don't want a real ID. So in the process, I found this. I keep finding, I need to plug it in. And, this doesn't even have a charger on it. So how do you charge it? This used to be my daughter's, I remember. You probably have to have one of those. Okay, I think I have one. One of the plugs that you plug in. Robert, every time I go live on the computer, it doesn't get pushed out for some reason. So not as many people come in. It's really weird. But I was listening to this gal's channel, and I want to share it with you guys. Let me see if I can find it real quick. 1 second. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Robert, did I stay on here when I told you to hold on a second? Did I stay on? Okay, I'm trying to find. I want to share the. Okay, what was it I watched? Hold on a second. What's her channel? Political. Okay. Where's her channel? Why isn't it saving the ones I wanted to save? View all. Here it is. A very interesting. Let me go here 1 sec. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, shoot, I can't. Damn it, I'm not on StreamYard. Oh, no. I was going to try to save it or share it, but I can't. Shit. Well, that just ruins everything. I went live on YouTube, not StreamYard, so I'm pretty bummed. Okay, that's okay, Robert. I don't know, but I meant to go live on StreamYard, so then I could share my screen and let you watch what I was watching earlier. Anyway, so the channel is called Undivided with Brandy Cruz, and she's a conservative, but she's definitely one to listen to both sides. She's one to represent both sides. So the whole topic of, because in our state, Washington State, was very liberal, and the things they're allowing and the things that they're kind of pushing down people's throats, there's a lot of controversy over. One topic being boys and girls sports or girls and boys sports. So she had a guest on her show and the guest's father, because another gal who was on this basketball team showed up to play the game, and this person who's transgender was there and was going to play in the game. And so the gal said, I'm not playing. I'm sitting this game out. I'm not going to play. If she's going to play, I'm not. So, and then after she got home, she started thinking about it more, and she contacted people and made a post about how she felt about the whole thing. And that side doesn't want to listen to our side. I hate saying sides, but that's how it's out there. But we're just supposed to accept what they think we should accept and deal with it. It doesn't matter how it makes somebody who believes the way we believe feel. That doesn't matter. We only have to care about how that person feels, and we have to always go around and try to convince people that we are not racist, that we are not transphobic, that we are not this, we're good people, and people are getting sick of it. Just because we have a different ideal of how things should be doesn't make us a bad person. It doesn't make us transphobic. It doesn't make us racist. It makes it that we just don't agree. So why can't we not agree and still get along? But no, it can't be that way. It's got to be, you either think like we do or you're evil. And people are getting fed up. So anyways, Brandy Cruz talked to the father of the trans person. I'll say she, because that's what she wants to be referred to as. And that's just being respectful. And they wanted to do an interview. They wanted to go on her show and do an interview. And the funny thing is they agree with how we think. They do not believe children 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 should be getting any kind of hormone treatment, any kind of surgeries, any kind of anything. And she also agrees that she's a male. And she was born a male and still to this day has male parts and is a male, but chooses to be referred to as she and wants to live life as she. And that's her right. But that doesn't mean you have to force that on everybody else. And it doesn't mean any of this should be going on in schools. I just had to read. Oh, yeah. No way. So I want. And then she did an interview with some students talking about what they have to deal with in schools, how everything's a political issue, and they're tired of it. Okay, where to go? Hold on. Okay, here's that one.
Watch what magnesium does to your bowels.
Hold on a second.
If you have to wipe more than 4 times after you poop, here.
Supervise the decline of a once great school district. We ran for this board because we saw a wave of Trumpism taking over decision making at school districts all over this country, and people like me were like, "Dear God, I'm going to run for school board before something like that in my community happens." And I will take exception with one important talking point that's been repeated a few times, and I think is really problematic. And it's this idea that we as a board have driven students out of this school district with our woke politics.
You have. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Enrollment is down big time.
I still have nightmares about it.
Nightmares about it. You really, 5 years later, you still think about it?
Yeah, even more so now than before.
Some people will chalk this up to a culture war documentary.
There's political stuff outside her door and like in the hall beside her door, and it's like, I don't want that in the classroom.
Or even dismiss it as right-wing propaganda.
How often would you say that LGBTQ issues were talked about in class?
Every class.
But to do that, you'd have to ignore the stories of these kids who are sitting down for the first time to share their experience as students in a school district where academics are too often overshadowed by the political agenda of adults.
Neither side of politics belong in school, nor does religion, nor does anything that is personal beliefs. A teacher should not be forcing personal agenda onto students, no matter what it is.
That's right.
And it is so important that we try and stop this because it's out of hand.
What are the impacts of trans and queer exclusion in the classroom? I don't want this to be negotiable. Like, we're going to negotiate whether or not we're going to provide a transgender student their rights. It's non-negotiable. That's how we create the discomfort where we grow. Something might seem neutral on its face, but it actually has a disparate impact based on poverty or race or any of those different types of demographics.
Hey,
No one has covered the issues in the Olympia, Washington School District as much as Alicia Perkins.
My husband and I are both alumni of the Olympia School District, as are my 3 children.
She runs a Substack and a Facebook page called OSD Rescue, where she's detailed dozens of stories of failures within the district, many of them brought to her by other parents.
These parents who are coming forward are really courageous, and this needs to be exposed to improve things that have gone wrong in some of our public schools.
Alicia helped to expose the violent anti-cop rhetoric of a now former school board member, Talana Reed.
And it amazes me how those pigs can sit over there to watch us.
This is a gal who worked for the school district, and she's holding a little rally saying, it amazes me how these pigs can sit over there and watch us. She's speaking to students. I don't know if you can hear her very well, but listen.
Peacefully talk about what we want changed in this state. It amazes me. And they don't pay attention until we tear shit up. So just before I get started, tear everything up in this fucking city until they completely walk up the roof.
And they don't pay attention until you tear shit up. So before we get started, tear everything up and pretty much don't stop tearing shit up. That's not violence. That's not teaching kids to have a conversation, is it? That is teaching kids to tear shit up, to destroy things, to be violent.
Reed lost her race for re-election last year, but the Olympia School Board is still packed with ideologues, like one of its newest members, Jess Turtelot-Palumbo, an activist whose social media posts are, well,
I'm going to be completely honest, as a white person, like, my first thought was like, oh, that's an interesting idea. And then, like, I took a couple more seconds, and I was like, that's not an interesting idea at all. That's an idea that I feel like is creating space for white folks to feel safe or to feel good about doing something about the racism within law enforcement. And it doesn't take away from the fact that law enforcement and SROs come from the seed of racism. And you can rename them something, and you can try to create different branches, but if that seed is still there, it's going to create the same problem. And that same problem is going to tell our students who are marginalized, who have disabilities, who come from the BIPOC community, that their safety is less important, that they don't matter. And they do matter, and it's not just that they matter, it's that they're phenomenal. They have incredible voices and are amazing leaders, but we don't say that enough, right? Like, we don't tell that enough. And by voting SROs into schools, we are going to silence them. And we are going to cause fear.
Palumbo is in good company on the Olympia School Board, where meetings are driven by political debate. In one meeting about budget cuts, members explained why they were getting rid of fourth grade music classes. Apparently, even wind instruments are racist.
There are problems with how elementary instrumental music is administered right now. We know that there are disproportionalities in how it's rolled out at each campus. We know that people experience different amounts of time of elementary instrumental music education. We know that there are some places where students never miss core instruction as a result of going to instrumental music. And we know that there are other campuses where that's a struggle. We also know that there are other folks in the community that experience things like a tradition of excellence as exclusionary. And I don't think that there's just one or two or 10 or 20 people that think that. But that's not unique to elementary instrumental music.
Instruments are racist now, guys.
It is an entrenched and it is surrounded by white supremacy culture. And that's a real thing. And there's nothing about string or wind instrumental music that is intrinsically white supremacist. However, the ways in which it is, and the ways in which all of our institutions, not just schools, but local government, state government, our churches, our neighborhoods, inculcate and allow white supremacy culture to continue to be propagated and cause significant.
Why did no one tell
white
Washington drivers
supremacy
about this new rule? If you are currently insured,
music and white supremacy, they're putting together.
Institutional violence are things that we have to think about carefully as a community.
In an official school board declaration this year honoring Black Lives Matter Week, OSD called on teachers at all levels to ground their work in the 13 guiding principles of the Black Lives Matter at School movement. Those guiding principles include disrupting the Western prescribed nuclear family, freeing ourselves from the tight grip of heteronormative thinking, dismantling cisgender privilege, and uplifting Black trans folk. Hallways and classrooms across the Olympia School District are a reflection of those ideologies. A clear indication that politics isn't just welcome in the classroom, it's part of the fabric of the district. And that activism is rubbing off on students who have staged walkouts for everything from abortion to gun control to Black Lives Matter, and more recently a walkout against Israel's war in Gaza. Not surprising considering the indoctrination of students starts young at OSD. And it's not just rogue teachers working their politics into lesson plans. It's part of organized.
Okay, so it shows a lesson plan. It shows, can you help me understand pronouns? Sure. Pronouns are words we use to talk about others without using their name. What are some common pronouns? People might prefer she, her, he, him, or they, them. Using correct pronouns is a great way to show respect for others. What if I mess up someone's pronouns? Just apologize and remember for next time. Making the effort is what's important. And fine, like I said, the person that was on Brandy's channel, I said out of respect, they wanted to be called she, so I refer to her as she. But when you're looking, and she presented herself as a she, but when you're looking at somebody and they're presenting themselves as male, they look like a man, but they want to be called she, your brain, they're expecting us to completely retrain our brain to what we've always known, she, he, her, him, all of these things we've known since we were children. You're expecting me, you're saying my eyes are playing tricks on me, really. When I'm looking at you and you've got a beard and you want me to call you he or him, don't get mad at me if I screw up, because my eyes are seeing something different. It's natural to do it, to call that person how they appear. And fine, if apologize, sorry, but don't get mad at me because you look like a he to me. It's going to take me a while to train my brain to call that person something other than what I'm seeing right before my eyes. Does that make sense? I'm too old to be retraining my brain. It's difficult. And it's not to be disrespectful at all. It's just what automatically comes out when we're looking at something. It's presented to us like, it's like, this is red or pink. Red, it's red to me, okay? It's I'm looking at this and you're telling me this is green. And that I have to always look at this and say, that's green. That doesn't make sense to me. But if when I'm around you, you want me to refer to it as green because it's a respect thing, I'll refer to it as green. But the point is, we don't have to agree with everything. We don't have to agree with each other on everything. But we can still, we don't have to hate. We don't have to cause violence. And if it gets to the point where it gets to be a fight or people are getting so angry, then avoid that topic with each other. But I'm not going to not like, I mean, you wouldn't believe the properties that I work at, okay? Many of the residents despise Trump. They despise him. But we just don't talk about it. Or if something comes up in conversation, they'll say their thing, and I just don't say anything because I don't want to come across as disrespectful, but that's not fair either. See, we're being pushed into silence. We're being pushed into feeling like we cannot express how we feel. Like with the girls and boys team thing. If it makes these girls in high school feel uncomfortable to have a genetically born male in the girls' locker room when that person has the male parts, why is no one caring about how those girls feel? Why is it only about that one person, the transgender person, and how they feel? Why? And this, I have to give it to this gal, the transgender person on Brandy's channel. Very respectful young person, very respectful. But again, she says, well, I would just hope that if I made somebody feel uncomfortable, they would come and tell me. In this society, for one, it's hard for some people to speak up at that age anyways, but to come out and say, you make me feel, I feel uncomfortable when you're in the girls' locker room because physically you have the boy parts. I mean, that's not fair to expect the kids to come out and say that. Ugh. And she did say that it was her mother when she was 2 years old is when, or 7, something, the transition in presenting as a girl started at 2, I believe she said. Not like not with surgeries or hormones or anything like that, but just growing hair long and dressing in dresses and stuff like that. But I believe a lot of it is the parents push this on the kids, just like in the schools, the teachers push their political beliefs on the children. It's not okay. Low-waisted leggings is a new trend. Oh my goodness. I don't play those games. I call everyone what they are. I know, Charlie Kirk, and it's disgusting how some of these people are saying. I was looking at the comment section of a video I was watching. And that's right, I was going to read some of the comments to you guys. I was in awe. I'm like, wow, these people are sick. Okay, where did it go? Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Where did that go? Is this it? Here it is. I think
Get $20 off 5 cans of Zyn when you take the Zyn 10 challenge. Try it for 10 days.
I gotta find. Here it is. Okay, I'm gonna read some of these comments. So this channel is Pod Save the World. Okay, Pod Save the World, and the title of the video is Top Trump Official Exposed in Dysfunctional Manhunt for Charlie Kirk. Okay. Let's see if I can find. What a crazy upside down world when the Brazilian Supreme Court has more integrity to law than the Supreme Court of the USA. Recalling that SCOTUS just decided in favor of racial profiling, warrantless arrest, and detention without charges that is in direct contradiction to at least the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution of the USA. Charlie Kirk, this is another comment. Charlie Kirk was not a politician. He was a propagandist. His celebrity shtick was going to college campuses to argue with kids. Turning Point USA exists to indoctrinate children with anti-American Christo-fascist values. Anti-American? What? Charlie Kirk himself called gun deaths a necessary cost of freedom. He supported what happened to him and asked us not to have empathy for him. Is it really so weird that people are honoring his wishes? It was not a political killing. It has nothing to do with Democrats. We're spending so much time talking about Charlie Kirk. We aren't even talking about the school shooting that happened the same day. Why is Kirk more important than the children he argued not to protect? We didn't spend a fraction of this amount of time on the killings of Melissa Hortman and her husband, Mark, the shootings of John Hoffman and his wife, Yvette, an attempted shooting of their daughter, Hope. That was an actual political killing. I generally like the two of you, Tommy and Ben, but stop editorializing the killing of Charlie Kirk. Move on. He's not worth the airtime. I get it. You're liberal influencers, and he was a conservative influencer. But the similarities end there. Let them. To be clear as possible, I'm against violence of any kind. I really don't think America's issues will be solved by violence. But we have to stop defying someone like Charlie Kirk. I think they meant deifying. Like Charlie Kirk, just because someone took his rhetoric and used it against him. Did he not say the risk to himself was worth it to ensure the Second Amendment for all? I don't agree with the dude getting shot. I don't think that even more violence is going to help anyone in America, full stop. But with the vile rhetoric Kirk spent years flooding social media with, plus his view that this kind of situation would be worth it to him to protect the Second Amendment, how sorry and are we really supposed to feel for someone whose own rhetoric was used against him? He shouldn't have been shot, but as he was, okay, they're not using punctuation. as he was, how about we just send thoughts and prayers and see if that's all at all helpful? Just a thought, if shooter was a groyper, doesn't that highlight the need for the FBI to take the threat of right-wing extremism seriously? Congress is directly responsible for approving unqualified, unvetted, undeserving, by any measure, partisan hacks who are only there because of their ass-kissing ability for such position. Congress has endangered every citizen, the nation, and the world. The U.S. seems like an extremely sick and cruel society beyond all repair. The level of mental illness and soul-crushing despair, one of the richest countries in the world, is unconscionable, which, I mean, they kind of are right there. I write and publish press releases on a regular basis as part of my job at a pretty important national organization. If I issued a press release with the wrong director's name in it, I'd probably be fired. Having said that, it would never happen as we have multiple people reading it before publishing. The people mentioned in it included, which leads to a whole new set of questions in regard to the FBI. Okay, this one is what gets me. Mega on mega crime must be accurately reported. WSJ and WAPO are failing to do so. This death was caused by a 22-year-old white Mormon who was raised in a mega family with lots of guns. His dad turned him into the cops. The FBI had nothing to do with the capture of the allegations, I guess. The FBI had nothing to do with the alleged and confessed man. Stop calling it an assassination. It was a school shooting. Okay, watch how Mega went from wanting the death penalty for the shooter to now praying for his lost soul because he was white and Republican, of course. Apparently, they press snooze on the civil war they want. From what I heard, okay, for one, that shirt that he had on, the Trump 2024 or whatever, that shirt was photoshopped in, because there's another picture of him in his dorm, right, with a bed behind him with a maroon shirt on. What they did, they zoomed in, they put a Trump shirt on, they photoshopped a Trump shirt on him and made it look like he was a Trump supporter. He was not a Trump supporter. I mean, this is what they do. He was not a Trump supporter. Yeah, they put a Trump shirt on. Yep. Both parties can't get along with fake news as it was. Guys, I've been hearing, if you say Civil War, you're crazy, but I've been hearing. No, I'm talking about, yeah, that's what he was wearing at the shooting. But there was a picture that was all over social media from prior that was showing him wearing a Trump shirt, right? This guy, Tyler Robinson. Here it is.
All right, so
listen.
Let's go ahead and quickly debunk the three biggest lies you've been told from the left about Charlie Kirk's supposed shooter. All right, so obviously the first lie you're being told is that...
Okay, so. Okay.
He was a Trump supporter and he wore Trump gear. This is Photoshop. This is the
There's the original.
original image. They zoom.
Shit.
So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do? So why are you?
Debunk the three biggest lies you've been told from the left about Charlie Kirk's supposed shooter. All right, so obviously the first lie you're being told is that he was a Trump supporter and he wore Trump gear. This is Photoshop. This is the original image. They zoomed in and put a Trump shirt on him. That's not what he was wearing. So claim number one, debunked. Also, like, let's be real, this isn't exactly common manga gear here. Now this.
Oh yeah, and then there was this one saying that's MAGA gear.
Also, like, let's be real, this isn't exactly.
He's got the rainbow flag there, and isn't that the pink and blue? Do you guys know what that is?
Common manga gear here. Now the second claim they're making is that he donated to Trump's campaign. Document here shows a donation form to Trump Make America Great Again Committee by Tyler Robinson. Yeah, that's not a real form. Like, that form exists, but there is zero record anywhere that he donated to the Trump campaign. Like, it just doesn't exist. That's claim number two, debunked. And the last claim is that he wore a Trump costume, so he must be a Trump supporter. And so his costume is riding Trump, but do you know what his brother's costume was? He was a Trump hunter. His brother was riding Trump, and he, with his AR-15, was hunting him. Yeah, that's some real Trump supporter shit right there. Guys, look, I know it's difficult to keep up with the actual facts when the left won't stop spreading their lies, but I'm going to do everything I can to debunk as many of these stupid fucking theories as I can. All right, so let's go ahead and quickly debunk the...
Tyler Robinson lived with his transgender partner, according to sources. The individual, who is a male transitioning to a female, is fully cooperating with the FBI. Sources tell me the FBI had texts and other communications between Tyler Robinson lived.
Here's Jeffree Star.
Charlie Kirk was just shot and is now passed away while he was debating at the Utah Valley College. This happened while we've been streaming. I'm literally editing a video. I'm about to upload it right now, and I'm literally stunned. Like, what is going on, dude? For speaking the truth, that's what happened? Are you fucking kidding me right now? If you watch me daily, we don't really get political in this room. We're all about positivity, makeup, sarcasm, jokes, trolling, clapping back, being fun. Okay? This is a grown man who fought for the truth, who went all around our country debating people of all walks of life, walks of religion, walks of sexuality. He debated everybody. And if you're in here saying it wasn't the truth, you are a they, them loser, okay? You are one of those people who doesn't want to live in reality.
Mm-hmm.
You want to live in your weird little brain up here, okay? You are delusional. You are not right in the head, okay? So any of you weirdos coming in here, Charlie fought for the truth. He debated people all over this country, and he didn't care what you were.
Yep.
He still had a conversation with everybody.
That's right.
Why did I respect him? Because he knows reality.
Yep. Amen. If you like those kind of clips, go to. Oh, my daughter just texted me. I love you more. Oh no, honey, I love you more, honey. My baby girl. I love you. Oh, she's so pretty. Gosh, she's such a pretty girl. Ew, my ex-husband. Why is he on there? Ew, come on. He's trying to be. Anyways, so when you have people like Jeffree Star who knows he's a male, but likes to wear the nails and the makeup and the hair, says Charlie Kirk spoke the truth and lived in reality. There you go. I mean, there's a difference between wanting to live as a woman, like because you like the clothes, or you like the hair, you like the nails, you like to feel like a woman. That's one thing. But then to say, because I feel like a woman today, I'm a woman. And it's like, no, you're still biologically a male, but you're living as a female. And that's your choice. Nobody's arguing that. Nobody's arguing how you want to live your life. It's what you're pushing on other people. You're expecting people to, like I said, tell themselves that their eyes are lying to them, you know? Or reality isn't reality. That's just like me sitting right here to you guys and saying, I'm a dude. I'm a dude, you guys, okay? I know I've got big breastises. I know I wear makeup. I know I sound like a woman, but I'm a male, okay? Accept it. I mean, you can't push that on people. I heard after Charlie's death, people couldn't sleep. Oh, yeah. My grandpa and mother was fighting over this. And my grandpa, old school Democrat, didn't believe me, my Republican mother. He was gay for Biden and Harris bad. Hi, City of Peace. Bella Podcast. All I've been hearing after Charlie Kirk, we will be a civil war. Well, as Jeffree Star says it. No, I'm not saying, Roy, that just because Jeffree Star says it, I'm saying he's somebody who's living in reality. I mean, and nobody has a problem with him living how he wants to live. I'm saying if even he can understand, and he liked Charlie Kirk. He didn't agree with him all the time, I guess, but he respected him. He saw what he was doing. So just because someone's not out talking to people and agreeing with everything you live by, why can't there be another way of life? You know? There will be no. Did you hear he had a list like Crooks did, and the church shooter me saying why they make all these? No. I didn't hear that. But yeah, it's. And I listened to Erica, his wife, speak. And she had told him privately, if he ever did run for president and ever became president, the first thing on his list would be to focus on the family. Because if you break it down and think about it, when the family unit is destroyed, that's where a lot of times, I mean, sure, some kids come from, broken homes and they turn out wonderful. They're able to stay on the straight and narrow and go to school or get a job and, whatever. But a lot of times, and you hear it on some of these channels that talk about addiction, a lot of them come from broken homes. Well, what is the family unit? Why can't human beings just enjoy the journey of life? But instead, people want power. Once you lose the interest of wanting to have power, you will now enjoy it. I agree, City of Peace. What is the family unit? Well, in my eyes, this is my belief, okay? Now, of course, it's changed because we're in 2025, and the family unit could be 2 moms and 1 child, a couple kids, 6 kids, whatever. It could be 2 dads, whatever. But the traditional family unit is a mom, a dad, and children. But like I said, of course, that's changed, and that's fine. But in today's society, because of what society is doing to, or trying to make men feel like they're not men anymore, or if they are manly, then it's a bad thing. What do they call that? Something masculine, toxic masculinity. What the fuck? Excuse my language, but what the fuck does even toxic masculinity mean? I don't believe there's any such thing. They just put this label on it. If you're a man and you like to hunt and you like to fish and you like to do the things manly men do, you're toxic masculinity. And how dare you be that way? They're trying to fem down men, fem up men, I guess you could say. Hey, Donna, you're at work? I worked yesterday. I have 2 moms. Love them both dearly. Charlie Kirk's idea of a family unit would have put me in foster care. After Charlie's death, there was 2 more sad children. Oh, that's sad, TWC. That's great you have 2 moms. And like, I used to watch The Fosters. Did you ever watch The Fosters? I loved that show. There were 2 moms. One was a school teacher, one was a police officer. And they were foster parents. And they raised those kids so wonderfully, So I'm not saying that, but it's very difficult for one parent to do it all and make all the money and make sure the kids are doing their homework and make sure it can be done. But then there's a lot of turmoil when a woman or a man is put in that position. Oh, if there's I would support. I would get a shirt. I really liked him too, Donna. And I did post on my community page an interview. Well, not an interview, but a debate he did with a college student. And I get his mind frame. I get where he's coming from. That's what I relate to. That doesn't make me a bad person. Just because I relate to him. I know. And those children and his wife had to witness this, and you see these sick fucks out there celebrating it. I can't stand some of the people on the left, some of the politicians that have died, but never once was I like, woohoo, they're dead, thank God. No, anytime someone dies, it's sad, you know. They're someone's loved one, and it's disgusting to celebrate a death like that. You've never agreed with anything he said? What do you, you're not saying that, Bella. I know that is, what isn't my opinion? Please elaborate. But fundamentalists do believe it. I would never vote for someone that would tear a perfectly healthy. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody has tried to tear perfectly healthy families apart, Ray. They're talking about, look at Charlie's death and the evil 2021 protest. Oh, here's another thing. If they in West Seattle, they had a prayer vigil for Charlie Kirk. A prayer vigil. People gathered together and had a prayer vigil. There were protests about a prayer vigil. And people wonder why we feel the way we feel about these people? Who does that? And why? Because you're hateful. That's why. Care for him at all, but murder is wrong. Don't care about politics or any. No one deserves to die over. Exactly, Ray. Nobody does. Nobody deserves to die over a fucking opinion, over their way of life. I'm sorry, unless they're harming children, then I believe, and I believe Alabama's doing it now, or there's a state that is starting to do, or talking about doing it, castration. You should do a skincare show for us, your skin. Oh my gosh. Ugh. No, it's not. I'm getting old. Look. My skin's getting awful. I have to buy a new phone, you guys. It sucks. These phones are so damn expensive. I heard his baby ran up after he was shot. Oh. It's heartbreaking. But if you guys like clips, like I was showing you, hold on, let me see. I want to see
one thing that I've discovered
which account it was. Let me see, make sure it was which. Oh, Democrats claim massive tax hikes are actually good for you.
Hey, if you conceal carrying, you're probably going to want this. The Vanish holster.
I need to find my
Right
birth
now, you get one
certificate.
for not
I think it's in
Even
my
Bob
storage.
Ferguson, who I think very little of, the governor of Washington State, came out, at least at the beginning of the year, in his inaugural address, and he said, look, we need to be honest with ourselves about how we spent our way into a $14 billion budget deficit.
I
We
know.
need to start with cuts.
I can have an upgrade,
taxes.
they said.
Oh, Democrats in the legislature did not take too kindly about that. They started leaking out negative stories about Bob Ferguson, basically warning him, putting him on notice. Hey, you better fall in line, buddy. You better fall in line with the progressive Democrats and our tax and spend obsession, or we're coming for you.
So even Bob Ferguson knows, like, this isn't really fiscally responsible. So facing a big budget deficit, I'll give you the highline items. So on Saturday, again on the weekend, as if they can't do this during the weekdays when people are paying attention, no, they have to do it on a Saturday. Democrats in the state Senate, there were only 2 Democratic senators who voted with Republicans against the budget. They passed the largest package of tax increases in the state's history. Billions of dollars in tax increases.
Wonderful.
And we know how they're going to spin it. I'll play some of the cuts from the debate on Saturday in a moment, but they're going to spin it as, this was our only option. We're taxing the rich, and that's the only way we can avoid deep, hurtful, devastating cuts to our state budget, which none of that is true. None of that is true. So the budget that they passed on Saturday in the state Senate includes a couple things. It includes an unlimited property tax increase.
That's
so
what
you hear them out there saying, we're taxing the rich, we're taxing big.
More than politics, more than politically, he was a God-fearing man. This is where this guy destroys the vigil. Listen.
Fuck around and find out.
That is JM's site account, or JM site accounts 300. She has a bunch of those little clips. Trump's speech, live World War III. What?
Vladimir Putin would go toward business instead of toward war. You know, it's a warring nation.
We don't want war.
Why did Charlie Kirk's wife not react to his death? No one realized that she had to abide by the 3 strict rules made by her husband during his lifetime. 31-year-old Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at Utah Valley University. At that time, his wife, Erica Fransky, and their children were all present. However, until now, Erica has not responded to the incident and even refused to make a public appearance. In fact, she is just abiding by the rules made by Charlie for her. First of all, when Charlie is in crisis, Erica must remain silent and not respond to any questions within 72 hours, leaving it to Charlie's team or lawyers to handle. Moreover, this incident is too special, and the gunman is still at large. Erica cannot anger the other party. She must take the children out of the public eye to avoid retaliation. Secondly, as a controversial public figure, Charlie predicted that he might lose his life because of this. He asked his wife not to remarry. After all, Charlie's net worth is as high as $12 million, and he hopes that his wife can live a stable and happy life with the inheritance and the children. Finally, Erica must protect the children's privacy and not disclose their name. Why did Charlie Kirk's wife...
I want to know if that's true. Did he really ask her not to remarry?
Charlie Kirk is dead, and it exposed something vile and horrifying that I want to share with you right now, just kind of candidly. He was murdered while he's speaking in public to a group of college kids. And there's one part of this that I think should horrify you to the deepest parts of your very soul. Instead of a universal outrage, instead of every decent person saying this is insane and this is wrong, the internet seemingly lit up with these celebrations and cheers and memes and people actually laughing and celebrating the murder of a man because he wore a different political jersey. So let that sink in for a second. And I don't think any of this is about Charlie Kirk, the person. And I don't think it's about whether you liked him or hated him or didn't even care. I think it's about the fact that political murder is somehow just another headline nowadays. And we scroll right past it. There is a whole new low for where we could go. And you have people online cheering like it's their team winning a Super Bowl.
You
and what you're
guys,
seeing is
social media, TikTok, all of that stuff has really destroyed everybody. That's why, I used to come on here a lot more. Now I do have to, I work a crap ton, but I think even if I wasn't working as much as I do, I'd be doing something else. I really have to limit myself to how much I come on here, because I never want to be somebody who craves coming live, like people like Lori or Lisa or Trisha, or, this is where they get their oxygen, is the camera and the comments and, arguing with people and going back and forth and the drama and all that. And I am too old for that. So I like to come on and visit and chat with you guys and talk about nothing and talk about topics sometimes. But it's more of a social thing for me, social media. It's not where I get my oxygen. Even though I love a lot of you guys, I have a real life, and I never, ever, ever want it to be where this is more important than my real life. So, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that put social media first before everything, before their children, before their spouse, before their jobs, before they can't work because they can't be off of social media long enough. It's crazy. And it's destroyed the youth. I personally wish it would go away. I do. I wish they'd get rid of TikTok, Facebook. YouTube, you can't, you can get, I don't know. I think it's a touchy subject because I don't want the government involved in social media, but at the same time, I kind of wish there were limits, I wish there were limits. Seen lots of mainstream support for his family and people condemning the act regardless of how they feel. Yeah, I have seen that, Ray. I have seen that too. If it's on Facebook or whatever, who cares? Social media is a cesspool. You're right. No, can't eliminate freedom of speech. Not freedom of speech, but it's destroying people's lives. I do not think there's a lot of lives that have been taken. Famous TikTok influencers. Oh, many. Crazy. Excuse me, you guys, I gotta go find my birth certificate. I do, because I'm really pushing it. And I have to go to that work trip, or I'm going to be in big trouble, to Vegas. So, yeah, it's mandatory. Thank you, TWC. Mr. Beast got TikTok? What do you mean, got TikTok? All right, you guys. Thank you for visiting with me. I don't know if I'll be able to come on later. Maybe it'd be fun to play a game or something, but I don't want to promise because my schedule is so. I do need to I have a couple move-ins I got to do. I have a move out I got to do. Excuse me. I have so much to do still. I should be working today too, but I'm like, I need one day off. Tell that to the citizens in the United Kingdom who are being jailed for offending people with speech. Okay. I'll show you, but Donna, I really don't do much. I take off my eye makeup and then I wash my face and I put some of my lotion on my face and some oil and I'm done. That's what I do. I do wash my face every single night, no matter what. Even though if I'm laying there and I'm absolutely exhausted, I still get up and I will not go to sleep with makeup on. I got all my laundry done yesterday. All the blankets, the sheets, my clothes. I was like, yes, because I hadn't done them in 2 weeks. So I was like, I need to wash my stuff. Okay, love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for hanging with me, and hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful week. Okay, how do I get out of here? I don't do it. I normally don't do it on my computer. So, oh, there it is. Bye, Robert. Bye, guys.